Cordell, I bet you feel good. I bet you feel good this week, don't you?
Generally, yeah.
You would. You would feel good. You would feel good. Those horrible songwriters that I hate so much, Pasek and freaking Paul, got an EGOT officially.
Yo, they EGOT'd.
They EGOT.
My boys.
Oh.
Pasek on my Paul till I EGOT.
I've already felt bad, and now you're rubbing it in.
So I do want to point out that I have mixed feelings about Pasek and Paul.
Why?
So
Just kidding.
I mean, yeah, you don't want to listen, everybody. Hey, listeners, junkie junksters out there, let's be very real about something. You and no one for that matter, but you don't want to walk in and sit down and put on your little podcast about silly friends being silly, and within the first 60 seconds hear a person's opinion on musical theater. You don't want that, and I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna avoid my instincts here. No one wants my opinions on musical theater, and they will remain locked up. You know why?
Because this is Junk House?
It's a psychobilly freakout!
You almost got me. You sly dog. It won't work.
Almost got you.
Welcome back.
You really almost got me. I just
did.
rewatched Greatest Showman the other night.
I did almost get you, and I more was just, I wasn't trying to, like, get you. I was just more like, when I saw Pasek and Paul were now EGOT winners, my first thought was, man, I still hate them.
I really think you'd hate them less if you didn't live with me.
Yeah, that's honestly true. But this is Junk House. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome
I do want to
back.
say I have a hard time listening to Dear Evan Hansen without a little bit of a shame because of what I
Good.
put other people through.
Honestly, good. Just listen to Dogfight instead. It's objectively their better one.
It is way better.
Ah,
How are we feeling?
I'm tired. I was in St. Louis. I went to the St. Louis Zoo.
Ooh.
Went mini golfing
Okay.
in this place that was also a bar.
Whoa.
Wait,
You could
what's
do
it called?
mini golf. It's called putt.
Is it Pop
Putt
Stroke?
hole. Pop stroke.
Yeah, we have one in Tuscaloosa, so I was just curious if it was like that chain.
It's something similar. Let me look at this. It's like putt. I think putt is in the name. Putt Shack. It's the Putt Shack.
Putt Shack. Gotcha. It's gotta be. They're all similar. It's all
They're all
basically the same
similar,
place.
yeah.
All basically
Yeah.
the same place. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm good. I'm tired. I'm here. I saw Twisters.
I love Twisters. Unironically loved that movie.
It was a really fun movie. And then Glenn Powell said chat. It was great.
Yep.
But how are you, Cordell?
Baffled by the Glenn Powell phenomenon.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm under the weather-ish. Just bugs been going around left and right, dodging them like Neo, but I think one of them got me.
Oh.
Either that or it's a storm coming up this week and my sinuses are reacting to the pressure change. But yeah, I'm doing okay. I don't understand the Glenn Powell craze. I've been reading a lot of fantasy.
When you say fantasy,
Yeah.
Brandon Sanderson?
Not. Let me look. I have a list of the
Ooh.
books I've read recently.
Okay.
So I read the 3 Cosmere secret projects he published like a month or so ago.
Okay.
But no, I moved on to the Powder Mage trilogy, which I'm on the 3rd book of now. It's like the French Revolution meets magic.
Ooh.
It's pretty neat. It's not actually French, but that's the analog. That's what they want you to think of and it be reminiscent of. But it's good. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, that's how I'm doing. How are you, Caleb?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good today. My wife and I have been watching the past few days. If y'all enjoy watching people be extremely trashy in the funniest ways, I highly recommend on Hulu. It's a Hulu original show called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And
no.
It's about that group from TikTok, like last year, that had the giant swinging scandal. So it's like it kind of follows them, and they're all just like, it's kind of fun to see how trashy they are. It's fun, and if you like that sort of thing, this is like, if you liked watching Jersey Shore back in the day, you would like this. Like that kind of Keeping Up with the Kardashians type reality show. It's very fun. It's a fun one.
I can't do those kinds of shows. I have such, like, I'm generally an optimistic person, but I watch those sorts of shows and my heart just cracks. I can't do it.
Fair.
I have been watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? You know, that old 90s show?
Ooh. Yeah.
Found out it was on Paramount. Watching that.
Okay.
It was like Goosebumps before Goosebumps.
Oh, yes. They made a reboot of that, didn't they?
They did. I have not seen... I might have seen the reboot. I don't know. But I'm watching the 90s show, and it's wild.
I never really got into those. I think, unsurprisingly to anybody, never got into those real spooky shows.
Unsurprising to anybody. I've always been into those kinds of shows.
I think both of the things that were said for both of you are not surprising.
Wait,
say something not surprising about Sammy.
I was about to ask Sammy a question.
Pokemon.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That is not surprising.
I do have a question for you in a minute if we don't get caught up on something.
I was about to say, Sam Bantha, I have to ask, because you messaged us. This was in our Junk House group chat that we have. This was maybe about a week ago or so.
Oh, I think I know exactly what you are going to ask, but yes, please.
And you gave a movie a 1-star review, and I wanna talk about Madam Web, because you finally watched it.
CPR the movie.
Yes. Is it not so bad?
I think from my count, the CPR total was like 5.
Yes.
I've never seen that much CPR, and really only chest compressions.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they did. That much in a movie. There's an entire scene where Madam Web is with the girl, with the spider ladies.
Yep.
Who aren't spider ladies yet. They become spider ladies in the future. And she's like, "Hey, you're going to need to know this. I'm going to teach you chest compressions." And is like teaching them chest compressions and is really strict and mean about it.
It lasts for like ever. There's like,
I have questions.
Yeah,
I remember this scene because I remember I went and saw it in theaters, and like during this scene,
I'm so
it's
sorry.
like, yeah, no, it was worth it because it was. I was like the only person in there, and I was able to laugh as much as I wanted. It was great.
Good.
But so you've got like the 3 spider girls who I would never remember their names. Like I've got the IMDb pulled up because like Everyone in this movie, other than Dakota Johnson, is completely forgettable. Like, so many people, I'm like, oh, that person was in this? Okay.
I would argue Dakota Johnson is forgettable as well.
Oh, no, yeah. The only reason she's not forgettable in that movie is because she's in every scene. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
But there was like the girls like finally get the CPR down, and then it felt like an eternity of them just like going back and forth, showing each of the girls doing chest compressions correctly with like the most minimal background music or background noise that I could imagine. Like, I was like, this is so weird. This is such a weird choice. I hate this so much.
Cordell had a question though.
So many.
Yeah.
I will say though, you know, CPR still teaches still teaches the mouth-to-mouth portion, but anymore, if you don't have some kind of face shield, they don't recommend you do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if you have a face shield, that's nice, but I mean the compressions are doing most of the work there. The breaths is kind of whatever. But what were they practicing on?
Like stacked pillows in a Motel 6 type deal.
While they were running away from the bad guy who wants to kill them because in the future they're gonna get spider powers and kill him.
Yeah.
So.
Does he have spider powers?
He does. Kinda. Okay. He can see the future sometimes when he dreams. And he's not very smart. And honestly, the most forgettable Marvel villain since Iron Man 3.
Yeah. So the movie starts out. We're gonna do a quick, just from the beginning. It's in what country are they in, Caleb? They're in the Amazon of some kind of.
Great question.
There's it's the famous line, but like they were researching spiders or something, and then they disappeared.
See, that man was Ezekiel Sims. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died. So just the Amazon is like, I don't remember what country they were in because it's never important. Like, it's never like, it's important to this country's actual stuff. They're like, the Amazon. That's all you need to care about is that they're in the Amazon.
Yeah. And they're looking at a spider and somebody's like, yo, these spiders can like save so many lives because like the genetics can like heal diseases. And then somebody else is like, but I've also heard that there's spider people that use the spider's venom to become super powerful and like a spider. And you're like, okay, cool. And
straight up, they're talking pregnant. Like that, like it's like Black Panther in a web.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And I'm pregnant. Oh, look at it. Oh, I'm, but this is more important because we could save so much lives. And then the guy shoots her and steals the spider. That's like the first 5 minutes. 10 minutes.
Dang. They got her.
Dang.
Yeah.
But the spider people, there are spider people. And they come out of the woodwork, being the woods, and grab the pregnant lady and take her back to the cave with the water in it. They put her in the water and then they put a spider on her belly and the spider bites her and gives her powers. But oh no, the powers are in the baby now because the mama dies in childbirth.
Yep.
But
how does the baby get to civilization?
Well, that baby is Dakota Johnson.
Dude. That baby's Dakota Johnson. The main spider dude. I'm telling you.
Okay, sorry.
He goes, she will be back when she is in need of answers. So I assume that means he took her to the airport.
So let me ask you something. This baby with no connections in the world is dropped off at an airport and gets taken back to the U.S. and is raised by whom? Getting over all the logistical questions of like, what airport would just be like, oh, a baby's here, put her on a plane.
Here's
this newborn.
Here's probably
I would do that.
foster care system is what raised
There's
her.
one line where she says, I was in the foster system.
And
oh, dang.
That's literally it.
And like, yeah, that's it. And then there's like a lot of just really weird stuff where like mid scene something awkward will happen and then time will just skip back like 45 seconds. And then that's when you figure out that it's actually Madam Web. She was just seeing the future and having visions. And so now she cannot be awkward in the future or not successfully save some people, even though she knew how it was going to happen. And like, instead other people die.
Scene.
And yeah.
My favorite scene of all. So she's at the scene of this crime. Or well, not crime. She in the future, in the normal
she's doing
present. Crime. She's doing crime. No, she is on an ambulance. She's an ambulance EMT, whatever. So she's showing up to this big factory that's has bombs in it, or like there's some stuff that's about to blow. Oh shit! So she's doing chest compressions. Classic, no jokes. First time you see a chest compression, she like says some. Oh, it's important to this scene to know that her partner, EMT partner, is this guy named Ben. And they keep on saying Ben like 20 times, just so you know. Like
Uncle Ben. He's Uncle Ben.
But as like a younger guy. So Uncle Ben is saving somebody. And he's like, oh, this is happening. And she points up and goes, hey, no, it's actually this. And he goes, wow, smart move. Yeah. And then she gets a vision that a truck is going to crash into an ambulance. So she runs over to her friend that also drives ambulances and says, yo, don't get in that ambulance because you're going to die. And he goes, what? No, idiot. And gets in the ambulance, and it shows her walking away, kind of like sad. And in the background, the ambulance gets hit with a truck, and it's just the framing of it is like a comedy movie, and it is it's my favorite scene in the movie, at least one of them. And then she runs over, and you know what she does? She does CPR on him. She takes him out of the car and starts doing CPR on him.
Starts doing chest compressions. Because listen, when someone's bleeding out and
you pump the blood,
you pump the
it
blood
right out of their body.
That's what you have to do. This is what you have to do.
Do you think the three of us? Hear me out.
Yes to whatever you're about to say.
I think we could. Each of us pitching in one twist at a time, come up with a better plot for Madam Web.
Let's do it. I think we can as well.
Okay.
We'll keep it pretty concise, but I say we'll need to start with establishing like you get like try to keep it as few words as possible, but we're gonna see if we can't make a semi-coherent plot to Madam Web. Unrelated to the movie.
Okay.
Are we trying to make it like somewhat related? Like, do we want this to be a superhero story, or do we like
a Madam Web
fresh
superhero? Yeah.
Okay.
But we can
So,
tweak
like,
how our powers are supposed to work if we want
like,
to.
Yes.
Madam Web can kind of see the future. That's like her main power.
Yeah.
And
it's like,
doesn't have legs.
And doesn't have legs.
Those are the main two characteristics.
Does Dakota Johnson get paralyzed in the movie?
Yes.
She does. She gets blinded by a firework that goes underwater and goes past her face. She doesn't ever say the words, I'm blind, I can't see. But you can see it in her eyes because they do some special effects to make her look blind. And she's also in a wheelchair at the end. And that's also my favorite
like
scene.
Madam Web for real.
Yeah, because she adopts the three girls, and there's a scene where the girls are talking, and she's like talking to them, and then she just stops saying anything, and like slowly turns around in the wheelchair, and slowly rolls away and looks out a window. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, in the last line of the movie, okay, spoken by Madam Web as she's looking out this window.
Titular character,
And-
Madam Web.
Yeah, she's finally become Madam Web, and Sammy can verify this. Towards the end of the movie, there is also, I kid you not, what vaguely reminded me of like a Victoria's Secret style superhero photo shoot montage of the three girls and Madam Web like doing like superhero poses and like doing stuff like that as the final line is said of, the best thing about the future hasn't happened yet.
That doesn't make sense.
It
That
doesn't.
means nothing at all.
So that's the thing, is that I think that's the one thing we can't change. Our movie has to end with that line.
Okay.
The best thing about the future, it hasn't happened yet. We got to try and make that line meaningful.
Yeah, we have to make it good. That's going to be hard.
Here's how you do it.
Well, we got
Madam Web stops 9/11.
Caleb, we're going to start at the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
Okay.
We need to figure out what's, but we got, so
about Islamist extremists.
so the way that game works where you each say like one word at a time and you go and try and tell a story. We're going to do that, but it's going to be like a handful of words. Like give an idea, a concept, a scene, something that furthers the plot. Starting with Caleb. And we'll go Caleb, Sammy, Cordell.
Cool.
Movie opens. Madam Web is in her apartment.
We got to use a different name than Madam Web.
Well,
Sorry,
no. Is this like
and say
her actual name is Cassandra Webb. I'm sorry. Okay.
her name is Cassandra Webb?
Yes. Okay. So
That's
Cassandra
where the
Webb
Madam comes from.
is alone in her apartment.
Wait, no, we're doing a different character though, right? Are we doing the same?
No, this is we're doing
I thought
Madam
we were
Web.
doing Madam
We're
Web.
doing
We're
Madam
doing
Web.
Madam
Okay,
Web.
okay,
So we're doing
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Cassandra
We're just gonna
Webb.
do it better.
Okay, hold on. I'm adding another detail, and I don't know if this will be important because it depends on y'all. Madam Web is alone in her apartment. There are approximately 20 pizza boxes on the kitchen counter.
She just woke up from a late night of her side hustle being an esports teacher, an esports coach.
So she's an esports coach.
She's an esports coach.
As a side hustle,
Yeah, side hustle.
So we've got a lot of pizza boxes,
Well,
esports
there's a
coach.
lo- Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. She gets a phone call. She picks it up. It's from J. Jonah Jameson. And he wants her to bring in the pictures she promised him.
At the same time, there's a knock on the door. She opens the door, and who is it? Her star of the Rocket League team, Peter Parker.
He would play Rocket League.
This is a young Peter Parker though, teenage, before any spider powers.
He's like 13.
He's
Yeah.
like 13.
He's
He's
jamming on
super
Rocket League. And
His only superpower is hitting them sick Rocket League goals. But
Hey,
he
that's a good power.
runs in. He runs in and is like, "Hey, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna get beat up by the rival Rocket League team, and I need you, Cassandra Webb, who has no powers, but is like a mother figure to me. I need you to help me not get punched."
And this is where we first see Cassandra Webb's big problem. She is paralyzed with indecision. Her mind races, and we see kind of, like a brain blast in Jimmy Neutron where it goes right up in the ear.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
see that for
blast.
her, but it goes into her brain, and it's this tangled web of potential outcomes of her trying to help Peter or not trying to help Peter or doing this or doing that.
Yeah.
It is just this horribly tangled thing, and she's got decision paralysis. And you know what? She thinks all this, she thinks, and she stutters, and she's like, Pete, I can't.
Then he's still standing. Peter Parker is still just standing there trying to get help when in comes the bully, and it's the opposing Rocket League person.
Flash
and it's Dane DeHaan. And I know
Dane
you're
DeHaan.
thinking, not the Green Goblin. It is actual actor playing himself, Dane DeHaan. And he punches Peter right across the face and says, "You're stupid and your parents are dead. And you should feel bad because they are, because it's your fault. You killed your parents by being born, and that caused your parents to die." And Madam Web says, "Who knows what causes what? It's all connected in the web."
What?
But after she says this, she picks up a phone and immediately calls the police. And there's an extended scene of Dane DeHaan.
Dane DeHaan.
I don't know why I said Dan. Dane DeHaan
Dan DeHaan.
getting arrested for assaulting a child.
Yeah.
It's very meaningful. They sit down on the curb and eat some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches while we see Dane getting escorted away by the police. Cassandra looks at Peter and says, "You know what? Maybe I can help you."
Oh. And so Cassandra in this moment realized that with the power of calling the cops, she can save many lives. And Peter's like, "Well, good, because I'm going to need help. The rest of his Rocket League team is coming after me now because we got him arrested for punching me in the face and telling me it's my fault my parents are dead."
And then smash cut.
Training.
It's a man sitting behind a computer. And what's he doing? He's playing Rocket League. And he has a shirt on that says coach. It's the coach of the opposing team. He is played by William Zabka of The Karate Kid. And he says, "I've got to train to teach these kids how to do better at Rocket League." And then he looks over and says, "Am I right or am I right?" And what's he talking to? It's a mask. That's right. This one's the Green Goblin. And he's doing the talking to the mask thing.
Oh, dang. He's the Green Goblin.
Cut back. Training montage.
Yo.
Peter's getting good at Rocket League.
Mhm.
He goes, "Hey, I'm going to take a break. I need to take a shit," he says to Cassandra Cain. I mean, Webb. Cassandra Cain is a different character.
The Bat family's here now.
Yeah.
The Batman is also here.
He goes out in the alleyway. He shits in the alleyway. He's a kid. He doesn't care. Wow,
Kids don't use toilets.
Yeah.
He's
He's behind the
for
dumpster.
public indecency.
Yeah. He's behind. No, because he's behind a dumpster.
He is behind
And
a
what's
dumpster.
that? What's that crawling down towards him?
Oh, no.
It's on a web?
Oh,
There's a
no.
rat. A rat falls on him and bites him
A rat?
while he's shitting.
Oh, no. And so Peter
In his good
Parker.
Rocket League hand.
Oh, no, not as good Rocket League hand. So Peter Parker, in a panic, does not pull up his pants. He just runs back in the building and runs up the stairs. And he's like yanking him up as he goes up the stairs, but like his shirt hangs down enough that it's all decent
Yeah.
because this is a family film.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And so he's running and he's pulling up his pants and he gets in. He goes, Cassandra, I just got bit in my good Rocket League hand by a rat while I was taking a dump. And she says, I thought this might happen. And he says, what? And that's when we learn that Cassandra, with her immense anxiety, thinks through thousands of outcomes for any situation. She reveals that whenever Dane DeHaan was going to come beat him up, she realized she couldn't help, because if she didn't help, then he'd punch him in the face and get arrested, and then their Rocket League team could win. And she thought the same thing, that if Peter went into the alley to take a dump, that he might get bitten on the hand by a rat. And it would help him Rocket League better, because
he gets rat powers.
Rat powers help you Rocket League. So she reveals all this, and Peter's like, I mean, that's cool and all, Cassandra, but like, you can't just live in the future all the time. You got to live in the now. It's Caleb's turn now.
And then she says, You're right. But we have to take care of your Rocket League hand now. And then they go to the doctor, and the doctor says, I'm sorry, we can't save it. And they have to amputate the Rocket League hand. And then Cassandra Webb looks into the camera. That's right, break the fourth wall. Ooh. Women do it too now. And says, looks like it's my time to play Rocket League. And so then smash cut, it's the Rocket League tournament. And I know how I want this movie to end, but I have to pass.
Where is Cassandra? We just see Peter, but
that's right.
But he's looking really tall, and he's got a giant overcoat. I don't know, but they let him in. It's the same ID. So he goes up on stage. It's the final match. You see sitting down a really tall Peter with very feminine hands poking out.
And hips for days. Some could say if you looked close enough, maybe you could see Cassandra there.
They're doing the Rocket League. They're shooting the balls, and
a hush falls over the crowd as he engages his as Peter, quote unquote, engages the rocket boosters and hits that ball real good at the net. And then the power goes out. And headlights come on at the back of the crowd. And it's, you know who it is? It's William Zabka driving a real life Rocket League car with a big old metal spiked soccer ball at the front end of it. And he revs the engines. And he said, "This time we're playing off the web." And he puts his foot on the gas.
Then Madam Web stands up, and this is like the big CGI moment, okay? She like puts her hands out, and it's like a cool superhero thing, and everyone else just sees her putting her hands out, but we see what she sees, where she's analyzing all the possible futures that are about to happen, and she's going to try to manipulate it to where she can get the best one. And she looks and she says, "There's only one way to do it." And she jumps in front of the car, so William Zabka's driving at her, and then she kicks upwards, so that way the car, because she's super strong, because she has spider powers, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So she kicks up, and then it breaks her leg and paralyzes her legs. Now she's gonna be that's how we get the wheelchair going. But then it arcs it upward, and what's the car driving towards with rocket super boosters? The Twin Towers.
That's right. This is taking place in the year 2001. In August of that year.
Universe.
Madam Web watches in terror as the super bright flash from the explosion permanently damages her eyes.
Yes.
And she screams, 9/11 blinded me. The Peter, who was left with the overcoat, runs from the stage. He's perfectly fine. He takes off the overcoat, and where the nub used to be of his hand is now a rat claw. And he goes, Cassandra, are you okay?
And then Cassandra's sightless eyes stare up at the ceiling, and she says, "Peter, I can see what he's planning. William Zabka didn't just have one Rocket League super boosted real life car. He has another one, and there's a ramp downtown so he can launch it at the other tower. He's already hit ignition. You gotta go stop it with your rat powers, Peter."
Smash cut. It's 2 weeks in the future. And they're both in the hospital together. And Peter looks over at Madam Web and says, "I'm sorry I couldn't make it in time. But why did you launch the first rocket up at the tower when it was going to hit us?" And she said, "It's the only way I could save you, Peter, and make sure that we were all alive." And then he said, "How could you tell that? That was the future." And Cassandra looks at Peter and says, "Well, that's the best thing about the future. It hasn't happened yet."
Directed by
and
Sam
there you
Raimi.
have, yeah, that's Sam Raimi.
Directed by Sam Raimi, yes.
There you have the definitive better Madam Web movie. Sony,
Yeah.
you can have that for free.
No, you cannot. Sony,
have
give
to
me
pay us.
$5 loose cash in the mail.
Yeah.
And a PS5. That would be pretty cool.
I
That would be
really
great.
love Sony. I want you to buy me. I want you to buy me the new Switch 2 next year when they make it.
Yes.
I like that in this new lore that Madam Web made 9/11 happen so
Yeah.
that Peter could be Ratman.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Earth 683 or some stuff like that. 669.
6D,
Some weird stuff like that.
6 the letter D,
6D.
9.
D.
So, yeah.
I like that. 6D-9.
Yeah.
That's a. Is it the year 2024 in this world, and 9/11 just happened in 2024, so they can have a
Yes.
Rocket League?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
actually the
alternatively, you're
Olympics.
playing Rocket League on an N64, and I cannot
Whoa.
imagine that being a pleasurable experience.
They could have just had better technology sooner. Maybe the
No.
Library of
With Madam Web's
Alexandria
power.
didn't burn, and in it they had the prototype for the first Game Boy.
That
They had a
okay.
Switch.
That I love this. Hold on. You're saying the Library of Alexandria in this world.
Yep.
They're like digging through. It's like Indiana Jones going through, and they're like, we're searching and we're going through, and oh my gosh, we have like the first calendar ever printed,
Yep.
and we have the first secrets to how to plant plants and make them grow, and the first ever written record of that, and also a Game Boy Micro. Why
Yes.
is the faceplate interchangeable? This doesn't seem correct.
So what happens here is in this universe, the Game Boy Micro was invented by ancient Egyptians. And they did it as worship to the god Horus.
Nintendo.
So because Horus notoriously went by the nickname Nintendo,
Yeah.
like Nintendo. And so they made the Game Boy Micro to worship him, and they made interchangeable faceplates because Horus has many moods and personalities. And then what happened was the company Nintendo, which is actually a secret organization obsessed with Egyptian mythology, trying to resurrect the god Horus in the modern day, reproduces the Game Boy Micro as an attempt to worship the god Horus. And then every company does a micro faceplate version of their consoles. You have the PlayStation Micro, you have the Xbox Micro, You have the Sega Genesis Micro?
Do you want to hear
You-
a joke I thought of just now as you were talking about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. There's a little bit of setup involved, okay? So, like, it's like Moses and Pharaoh,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And this is what happens. Pharaoh, let my people go. Hold on. I'm like 2 steps away from evolving this Charmander. But I feel like right now isn't the best time to take the 2 steps. But I really want to evolve this Charmander. So I'm going to do that again. Hold on. 1, 2. Perfect. Great. Okay. Pharaoh, now let my people go. So that was the joke. It was like Moses did that, but then realized he was only a few steps away from evolving his Charmander. Because they had the pokey, like the step counter thing that you could link. Yeah. That you could link to the thing. And yeah.
That did not
Hard
come out
Gold.
until Heart Gold Soul Silver, though, I will say.
Yeah.
Which you could not play on the Micro.
Well, guess what? I'm not a fucking nerd, so I didn't know that.
Well,
I am a nerd. I am a big nerd.
there is something.
Can't
talking about
lie.
nerds and movies. We did need. This is important. Have y'all seen the Minecraft trailer?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks so bad. And also, it's very funny that I can tell that they thought it was going to be really good and that people would love it. Because you have to pay so much money for Beatles music to be in your trailer. And they picked one of the more expensive songs of Magical Mystery Tour to be the trailer.
And they got Jack Black and Jason Momoa.
Yep.
And
So,
like, Jason Momoa could have looked like Steve pretty easily.
well, my one theory that I did like was that Jason Momoa's character is named Steve, and Jack Black is the bad guy in Minecraft. What's it?
Hero Brian.
Herobrine, yeah.
I saw a meme of Jason Momoa being his character being named Brian, and near the end they're gonna be like, "But you're a hero, Brian," and his eyes are gonna go wide, and it's like, I like that.
My thoughts on it really aren't that complicated. If you're gonna make something, care about it and have some artistic integrity. Also, Jack Black seems to be a sellout now, which is really sucky.
Yeah, which makes him getting mad at Kyle for the Trump thing a lot dumber.
Yeah, I'm still upset about that, to be honest. Makes me very sad. Cordell, did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did.
It makes me pretty sad.
Makes me a sad boy.
Pretty
I'm not gonna
sad.
lie to you.
pretty sad.
The one thing that
Also-
got my goat more than the trailer itself was seeing, I think it was Nick Fuentes, make some kind of response to the trailer, and it was he took a screenshot of who's the actress in that movie.
In the new Minecraft,
I've got it pulled up. Are you talking about like the younger actress?
The
or-
black woman.
Oh, Danielle Brooks is her name.
Danielle Brooks. So, have I seen her in anything?
She was in Peacemaker, Orange is the New Black. Like
A lot of things I have just barely not watched.
Yeah, she was in the Color Purple.
World War
Okay.
Z, she was in that video game, the video game adaptation.
Anyway, but like Nick Fuentes was like, it was a screenshot of just her face in the trailer, and he was like, look at all the dislikes on this video. People are sick of this. And I was like, that's evil. You're evil. You're bad and sick. And
You're a
that's
bad
my only
human
thought
being.
on it.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, I disliked it because they clearly don't care about this movie.
Yeah, Jack Black says, "I'm Steve."
Yeah. The style of movie adaptation where you just drop real people in a video game is the laziest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, Matt Berry and Steve Carell are also going to be in it. I don't know who they're playing.
I
Also
right
Steve.
now in the cast list on IMDb, I see Jermaine Clement is going to be in it. Jennifer Coolidge, Kate
No.
McKinnon.
Jennifer
Like,
Coolidge is a good cast, actually.
It's
That's
just
correct.
it's like I just hope she does the villager. Like she just voices every villager.
Oh.
That's all I need.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, I want a hot dog real bad.
Oh.
But it also makes me upset that it's directed by the same guy that did Nacho Libre and Napoleon Dynamite. And that also tells me the kind of humor that's going to be in this movie is frankly one that kind of went out of style after those two movies were released.
Yeah. Ugh. Science.
Science indeed.
Would y'all like to do an everything draft?
Yeah, let's be
Love
happy.
to
I
do an everything draft.
I needed to bring it up because we had to at some point.
No, it's like we did have that fun bit where we rewrote Madam Web, but that was also because Madam Web was so bad.
Yeah.
Life's been kind of grim. So let's do an everything draft. Caleb, deafen yourself.
Okay. I'm working on it. There.
What you thinking, sister?
We had two options. I was pulling up. I thought it could be fun if we did a prompt from a random generator this time, or a very simple one of a character you would like to go on a picnic with. Were my two options.
Okay, because I was just thinking we've gotten very high concept with these lately. Like our first everything draft question was like ideal video gaming weekend, and the last one like we've gotten really crazy with it. So I think just like or just would you want to do like things you would take on an ideal picnic, or just character to go on a picnic with?
Well, I did roll a couple of times on the random, and this one isn't as high concept, but it would be a character. It'd be going with someone.
Okay,
but
let's do it.
To visit a psychic with. Or do we just want to do? We can do picnic, like going on a picnic, because that could be characters or items.
So just the theme is going on an ideal picnic.
Yeah.
I like it.
You like it. Do
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've returned.
Welcome back. I guess I'll start. Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. A large plush blanket. And specifically plush as in like soft, not the actual, thick. Thick. Not like a Sherpa that some people are like plush. Okay, yeah.
No, I agree with you. there.
Yeah.
You kind of stole mine a little bit.
I'm a dirty thief.
Interesting. A large plush.
Okay.
Blanket.
Mine is one of the like, okay, it's going to be weird. A bottle of wine that does that fancy cork thing with the little like metal loops where you got to like set it up there and then tighten it down, to seal it, that you can like refill with water when you're done. One of those bottles of wine.
Okay. Perfect.
Specifically like a white or a pink, maybe a Moscato. Let's call it Moscato actually,
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
it's a Moscato.
Like, could be your favorite wine.
Yeah, my favorite wine.
I have nothing. I like sometimes when we do this and I'm the one deafened, I get an idea after the first two. No clue. These both seem like things you might want at like an at-home movie night type deal, or like a outside type, like hang out, have fun type deal. I'm going to go with the movie night, but I'm not going to go for a movie because I
Okay.
want to leave my options open.
Okay.
So I'm going to say incredibly comfy, really big pillows that like you could sit on and like lay down and like a lounging pillow.
Okay.
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 I'm going to harken back to at least the way Cordell did a draft pick from the first draft. Actually, I think it's from the very first one, but the platonic ideal of a turkey sandwich.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang.
This is what?
Okay, you know what? My second pick. A cloud that stays under the sun,
Ooh, yeah.
even if there's a nice breeze.
100%.
Oh, this is making me wistful. This is good.
I know. Oh. We'll take all these things on this
Yeah.
someday soon.
Okay. The perfect assortment of individual bags of chips.
Okay. Caleb, are you gonna stick with your guess?
I'm gonna pivot a little bit to this is like if you're doing like, for example, like movie night at the park or like one of those things where it's like you need a blanket out and you may have some food and a bottle of wine with you, like that kind of deal. So it's like a picnic or like an outdoor setting that might be a date or something like that.
I say we give that to you.
I say you said the word picnic. It was
Yeah.
Picnic, ideal picnic setups.
Yeah, an ideal picnic.
Yeah.
You were spot
one was
on though.
beating
The
people up.
pillows, great.
Mm-hmm.
I've already forgotten what your second thing was.
The perfect assortment of
yes,
individual
the
bags
chips.
of chips.
That's good for a picnic.
Yeah, and to go
Because
with
like
the
if
turkey
you just
sandwich.
get one big bag,
Right.
then everyone's going to be stuck with that flavor.
Right.
But a perfect assortment of the individual bags, everyone gets their own flavor.
It's like that
same
time.
I want barbecue. I might not want barbecue.
It's like that time I bought a full 2 liter of cream soda to a hangout, thinking more people liked cream soda, and it was just me drinking it. I learned to stick with the classics that day.
I have learned that you can never go wrong in bringing something to a hangout if you just bring Coke, Diet Coke, and a Dr. Pepper or a Diet Dr. Pepper.
I've started bringing Sprite and Dr. Pepper.
Smart. The Sprite's choice. Sprite is a choice.
It goes hard,
pick.
right? It goes hard. Yeah.
Sprite is a choice pick.
Choice beverage. My original one was going to be a thick blanket that you could stake down at the corners. And I've been thinking about this for a while now. One of the biggest problems with a picnic is that even when you lay your blanket out, if the ground's lumpy, you're screwed, or the grass isn't cushy, you're screwed. If you get a thick blanket that you can like connect to the ground at the 4 corners and get a good, nice spread, I think you're in for a good picnic.
Yeah. Good point. Is that invented?
Good point.
That you don't have to like.
We're at the
blanket.
We're at the point where we can. We're at the point where last time we did the wipe the slate clean and decide who has the best group in a category.
Oh, is it time once again?
I just counted. It is time. If we want to go ahead and do that, because it doesn't take very long. The scenario was on the wheel. Last round, if you remember, from the first group, Cordell won. and it was best group to do karaoke with was the category we wound up doing. And I guess we don't know quite yet what this next one is gonna be.
Okay, we're gonna spin the wheel now to figure out what our scenario is. We got a few good ones like plan your wedding or playing co-op games with. But this scenario is our list has to be the best to assemble IKEA furniture with.
The Joan Cachet and Cordell, if you want to read yours off, because I just sent that first.
Yeah, so a second story. I don't remember what these were.
I think that was like a house. I don't.
Okay, because my second one was a grenade. Wheel of Time audiobook series. Perfectly situated stop with cheap gas and Taco Bell. Nintendo Switch with Into the Breach and XCOM 2. Exit row seating, window seat. The meltiest part of an ice cream cone. An unsuspecting victim's neck. Hawks from My Hero Academia. Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. A bottle of wine with a fancy cork thing. A Moscato. And a cloud that stays under the sun.
Mine were Batman and the Elder Wand, which is very funny when you know they're the same for a second story and a grenade. Then we got a perfect podcast playlist and Black Forest gummy bears. 60-degree weather where you are leaving from. Good high quality neck support pillow. The perfect ratio of orange chicken to rice. When you catch a perfect IV Pokemon. We also got Shinra from Fire Force. Satoru Gojo from JJK. A large plush blanket. And the platonic ideal of a turkey sandwich.
I just remembered what a second story grenade and then Batman and Elder Wand go to. We were trying to modify the game Clue to make it a better game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because Caleb's were a game room and a second die modular to each character to the movement.
Yeah. So, mine are a game room, a second die modular to each character for the movement, a perfect dad rock playlist, 2020 or later Toyota RAV4, technology works perfectly, one weirdo on the flight, the dead center of a Crunchwrap Supreme, when the first 10 minutes of a game prepare you for everything else in the game, Silver's Rayleigh from One Piece, Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter, a lounging pillow, and the perfect assortment of individual bags of chips.
So I'm pretty sure the order of these things. The first two, modifying Clue. The second two were road trip stuff.
Yes.
The third set, were going on a plane. The fourth was like super ideal, like the best bites.
The best bit, the best bite, best bit.
The most
because
satisfying.
The most satisfying bite, which is why I've been trying to figure out why I had an unsuspecting victim's neck.
The real thing was the most
vampires.
The real thing was the most satisfying thing. Yeah, and you thought that it was the perfect bite.
I was a vampire that episode.
Victim's neck. Yeah.
Okay. And what is the winner decided by? What is
best to assemble IKEA furniture with?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, thinking about getting the IKEA furniture home to start assembling it, I'm the only one of us who has a car.
Now I have Batman.
Sammy has Gojo.
And Gojo.
I don't think
I'm the only person that has 3 people.
You do have 3 people.
So I don't even have to do any work.
That's true. Most IKEA furniture is built with 2 people in mind. So a third person is going to make it even easier. And then you don't have to do anything. And you can kind of just sit back and eat the perfect ratio of orange chicken to rice and Black Forest gummy bears.
while chilling out with my neck support pillow.
Well, with the neck support pillow. Oh man.
Well, okay, no. I'm sorry. Caleb technically has 3 people with the one weirdo on the flight, and the one weirdo on
That's
the flight
true.
would be entertainment while Silvers and Hisoka.
I have a grenade.
Fuck.
I think that's very good if we were saying the perfect person to disassemble IKEA furniture.
Dang
with. I think this one comes down to me and Samantha. And I think Samantha has the edge.
Samantha, the car is a lot, but when you have Gojo and Shinra, like,
yeah,
and,
Gojo, Shinra, and Batman,
and we didn't take into account that.
And the Elder
Batman
Wand.
probably,
Elder Wand, yeah,
and the Elder Wand. So, like, if one of them can handle the Elder Wand, that means
Batman.
Samantha has
It's gonna be
magic.
Batman.
Samantha
I think
wins.
Samantha wins.
Do you know what my biggest takeaway from this is?
What?
I think we very legitimately could team up and design an updated version of Clue with a little more action.
I think
so
we
too.
could. And who owns Clue?
Hasbro?
Probably.
I didn't know if it was Hasbro or Parker Brothers.
It's Hasbro.
So Hasbro, I got
Reach
some
out.
problems with you, but if you want to hire us to make Clue but better, do it. Because if you don't, we're just going to do it anyway and call it Clue but better.
Yeah, I feel like
Call
we
it
could.
Hint.
We could call it Suspect instead and have the gameplay be so incredibly similar, but we'll make it funny so it'll be protected under parody.
Yeah, and the suspect will add to the funniness anyway, because it's like, oh, this board game is Suspect because it looks so much like Clue.
Yes, and because here's my thought on it.
General PissStain is Colonel Mustard.
Yes, yes.
Batman.
And Batman.
It's just a
But
dude with
it's
a
an
bat.
actual bat. Oh, dang
Oh,
it.
it's
We got
an actual
directions
bat
here.
holding a bat.
Holding a bat. And he's got a tie. That's the man part.
Sorry, I think Constable PissStain is better. I just wanted to... How do we feel about General PissStain versus Constable PissStain?
Do you think we could get away with, like, Miss Scarlet being Miss Harlot, or is that a little too, like...
I think that's a little too on the nose. But
yeah, unlike General PissStain.
yeah, well, because here's the thing. General PissStain is on the nose, but imagine Hasbro taking us to court and having to say General PissStain over and over. And I think their lawyers are going to hear that and be like, I'm not doing that.
Multi-million-dollar lawyers having to say General PissStain in court while we're just cracking up on the bench.
And here's the
they
thing,
put all
they
three
call
of
me
us at the same time up there.
They call all of us up to the witness stand all at the same time. And every time they're like, now the character that you replaced Colonel Mustard with, and we say, I don't know who you're talking about.
What? Colonel Mustard?
Could you say it again for the record?
Talking about?
For the record?
For the record,
For the
can you
record?
please say, yes, we're speaking of General PissStain.
I didn't hear you, sir. I'm sorry.
General PissStain. It's General PissStain.
Do you think the stenographer would let me sign the minutes?
Do you think I could get a printout of the stenographer's notes to frame in an office saying General PissStain?
I want the whole thing televised.
It has to be Constable because we can do General Green and it's just a green square.
Oh, that's
I love
good.
that. I love that. So Constable PissStain.
Miss Scarlet is Miss Pac-Man instead.
Yes.
Miss Packed Man.
Miss Pac-Man. Oh,
And it's just
Miss
a lady
Pac-
with a
Miss
lot of
Pac-Man.
bags.
it's Miss Pac-Man. She's transitioning, good for her, and she's got a lot of bags.
Yeah.
Constable PissStain.
Do we want
What is it?
General
Is it
Green
like-
or General White? Because we could have a white square or a green square.
General Green, and then then just white, And it's just like, it's just our faces. Like
I
the
was
three
about
of us,
to
like thumbs up, arms around each other's shoulders.
In a terrifying Hydra.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Professor Plum, we've got to think it's got to be like a sassy gay
Pressing
man.
her bum.
Okay, let's be real. When you think of Professor Plum,
Oh, he gay.
he's a gay man,
He's gay.
right?
He's gay.
So
Yeah, he's gay.
Professor Powerbottom. And it's just we just don't do the color at all. Professor Powerbottom.
Because you know, it's not even a plum. It's more of a magenta.
Yeah.
I think
Anyway,
that's
the
it.
reason I
think we're
brought
done.
that up was because I thought second story and modular dice and having like actions you can take beyond simply looking for clues was cool. But I like the joke
Yeah.
version better, so Hasbro has to say Colonel PissStain.
Yeah.
Constable.
Constable.
we do the joke
Constable
version,
PissStain.
but the game mechanics are going to be more fun than Clue, so people come to the joke one
Yeah.
instead of playing Clue.
That's true.
I actually now want to work on and design a better Clue.
It wouldn't be hard.
We should.
It would not be hard at all.
And because here's all we do. We take the base game where you are trying to get around and look at things and solve the mystery, but we add a little bit of an Among Us element to it where we all get to have we each have one of the weapons randomly assigned to us, and we are wielding that weapon secretly. And at any point in the game, we get a one-time usage of that weapon. And we can try to take players out and increase our odds of
Hold
winning the
on.
game.
Hold on. Another game I know we've all played, Coup.
Yep.
Or Sammy, have you played Coup? Have you played Coup
Coup?
at all?
I think so, yeah. I think I
It's a
played with
hidden
y'all.
role. Yeah, okay. It's a hidden role game where if you try to do an action and then somebody else can call you on whether you have that or not. So we make it to where there is multiples of the weapons. You know, there's only like 3 or 4 weapons represented by like what you have, but there are multiples. So that way, out of nowhere, you get this really cool thing where it's like, okay, I'm going to take you out. I have the gun or I have the candlestick. And then they can be like, no, that's too complicated. Never mind. We're sticking with Cordell's idea.
I just think we could do this. Because here's the thing.
We
Imagine
could do it.
you've already got the grid on the floor. So imagine with this grid, each weapon has a like well-known and established range and how it hits, like in chess. So you got to try and make sure your character is never within someone's range for their weapon. But then we add in extra weapons like the grenade, where if you choose to do that, you can destroy a room. But if you're on the second floor or you're underneath on the first floor, there's a chance of you blowing up someone above or below you too.
Like this game. This is a good game. And you know what else is good? It's the Psychobilly Freak by the Reverend Horton Heat off the album Smoking If You Got 'Em. It's a banger of a track, and we get to use it as our opening and closing theme song. Thank you.
It's a banger, thank you. It's a banger. If you smoke them, then you better have them. If you smoke them, then you got them. We also have TikTok and X, Twitter at TwitterX at Junkhouse Pod. If you want to check those out. Also rate and review us on wherever you're listening. We got a YouTube, so would appreciate that as well. I think we have an email, which is why my 2 co-hosts are laughing.
So friends, we got an email from Fielding, and it's
The email of all emails.
Did you know? And it's Junkhouse. Did you know? And the body is just a picture, and it's Adolf Eagler, and it's a bunch of bald eagles with the Hitler mustache and the hair, and it shows their migration paths all across North America. But it's a big swastika, and there's like 12 other Adolf Eaglers watching the first one, and they're all saying, "We agree."
Oh my god.
And then the end of the email is, thank you for subscribing to Did You Know? Got a blast.
Oh my gosh. This is so good.
Oh, that took me out. Whew.
Oh my gosh.
So,
And Fielding got a promotion.
dang.
If you look
That's
at the bottom,
awesome.
you can
Winning-
see it, which is very funny.
Oh yeah, I'm happy for you, Field.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Congrats on your promotion.
I love that. I love that you can see that on the Did You Know emails because they always use their work email.
I want their work email to get audited at some point and just see
and
what they
all
send
of
us.
this. Oh my god!
If you want to send us other funny content, I was about to say send us Adolf Hitler content, but I don't want Hitler content more than that. I think the one is good. So if you want to send us other funny memes that are, please, no more Hitlers, do that at junkhousemmailbox@gmail.com.
Today for lunch, I had Mexican cauliflower rice with some ground turkey taco seasoning and a little bit of cheese and salsa.
That's all right. That's good. That's good.
I had
Low calorie, high protein.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I had orange chicken and honey walnut shrimp and white rice.
I'm gonna level with you. The only Panda Express in Cersei is the one on campus, and I every time I've gone there, I've been disappointed since I was a student. But every now and then I get the desire to try again, and I just know it's not worth it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Come to Tuscaloosa again, and we'll get Panda Express.
Okay.
I don't even like it that much, but it's an excuse for you guys to come down here.
I mean, I think I mean, at this point, I might make my next random week road trip up to see Sammy.
Ooh. Yes, Blades.
Who knows?
I
Who
normally
knows?
don't work weekends.
Well, I do work weekends.
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
Dang it. Anyway,
We'll
we'll kiss. I think my lunch might win, and it was leftover gumbo.
Ooh.
What kind of gumbo?
So we got it's got rice
Mm-hmm.
and a roux.
Mm-hmm.
We put Emily does turkey andouille sausage because she doesn't have red meat. We do shrimp, okra, bell peppers, onions. Wait, what?
Nope.
What?
You lost me. Sorry. Now's a little bit of a food history with Caleb Burley. Cajun gumbo does not have okra in it. That is a Creole thing.
I didn't say Cajun.
Have lost points in my book instantly by not making Cajun gumbo.
I didn't say Cajun. Also, what you got against Creole gumbo?
Cajun and Creoles fight all the time. That's like
fair.
that's like saying what do the Irish have against the English? It's basically like that.
It's like that episode of Community where they have the International Food Truck Day and there's the race riot. And he's like, I didn't know North and South Korea had problems. I thought they had similar food.
No, but that does sound good.
It was delightful.
I think Cordell gets the win on this one.
Caleb, you'd really enjoy it if you had it, even if it's not officially Cajun.
Oh, yeah, no, I just got to be an asshole about it sometimes.
No, that's okay.
That's the law.
And just like we say every week.
Just like Madam Web says every week.
The best part about the future is that it's in the past. And the best part about the past is that it is the present. And so the best part about the present is that after it comes the future.
It's a psychobilly freakout.